Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. So today you're joining me for another Premier League prediction. That is right, today I'm predicting Premier League Game Week 12. That is right, so the international break is officially over. Thank goodness for that. And we obviously England have qualified for the World Cup. Fantastic news, but right now it's all about the Premier League, okay? So in this series guys, I go through each side, give you some details about each side, give you some breaking news about each side, give you my prediction at the end of that conversation. So like today's video, man, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not ready. Without further ado, let's start with our Premier League Game Week 12 predictions. First up, we've got Burnley versus Chelsea. That is right, so Burnley lost 3-2 to West Ham before the international break, which sees them sit one place above the relegation zone. You know, not bad, but losing to West Ham, obviously West Ham are behind Burnley in the table, so West Ham have pulled closer to Burnley, which means it drags Burnley into relegation scrap. Burnley are in trouble this season now. I thought they were doing quite well this season, but they are dropping down that table. Scott Parker's still done a fantastic job considering what side he has for Burnley. Anyway, they're up against Chelsea, who beat Wolves 3-0, which now sees them sit in third place, okay? So Chelsea only 6 points behind leaders Arsenal. Can Chelsea win the league? I don't think they can, because for me, Chelsea just aren't consistent enough. But saying that, I do have this game, guys, to end as a 2-0 win. That's why I got Chelsea to beat Burnley 2-0. Next we've got Bournemouth versus West Ham. So guys, Bournemouth had a fantastic start to the season, but they lost their last game 4-0 to Aston Villa. Like 3 weeks ago, they were sitting in 4th place. They now dropped down to 9th place due to their 2-game losing streak, unfortunately. But that game against Aston Villa was a poor game for Bournemouth, and I'm sure they'll bounce back soon. They're up against West Ham, who is finally now seeing the benefits of having Nuno Santo as manager. That is right. So that's 2 wins on the bounce for West Ham, okay? So Nuno Santo has now got playing the way he likes to play, the system he likes to play. So West Ham can now hopefully push on and get higher up in the table. But I do think, guys, Bournemouth want to bounce back this week. So that is why I've got this game to end as a draw. That's why it's a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got 11th versus 12th. It's Brighton versus Brentford. Brighton drew 0-0 with Crystal Palace before the international break. A good point for Brighton right there. They are having yet another fantastic season. Hertzler is a very good manager, and he's the fact he's only 33 years old. He's still the youngest manager in the Premier League. Fair play to Hertzler. But this game, guys, will not be easy for Brighton because they're up against Brentford, who beat Newcastle a massive 3-1. I've got to say, guys, Brentford are playing some good football. I thought losing Thomas Frank would be the end of them, but they have come back even stronger. Igor Thiago, he is their star player this season. What a player now. He's got 8 goals in the Premier League this season, and he's going to be crucial for them by the end of the season. So guys, just on that, I've got Brentford to beat Brighton 2-1. Next we've got Fulham versus Sunderland. That is right, so Fulham, guys, they had a fantastic start to the season, but now they have dropped down to 15th place. They lost 2-0 in their latest game against Everton. But you know what though, I have heard right now that Fulham chairman sat down with Marco Silva and discussed a new 2-year contract. So obviously they have plans for Marco Silva, but in my opinion, the chairman needs to provide money for Marco Silva, because if they lose Marco Silva, like I say, he's a fantastic manager. Buying only 1 player in the transfer window just gone, it's not good enough for Fulham standards, okay? So yeah, so if I was Marco Silva, I'll beg for new players in the winter transfer window. Up against Sunderland, sit a massive 4th place. That is right, guys. Sunderland before the international break drew 2-2 with the leaders Arsenal. Sunderland only 7 points behind leaders Arsenal, and I don't expect Sunderland to have a fantastic season as they are doing right now. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, considering all the players they signed, obviously when you buy players, guys, it obviously sometimes it's hard to gel with the players and bond with the players. But Sunderland have brought all these players. I think brought like 13 players, and they are looking solid. So fair play to Sunderland right there. So just on that, I got Sunderland, guys, to beat Fulham 2-0. Next up, we've got Liverpool versus Forest. So that is right, guys. So Liverpool, what a strange season they are having. They lost 3-0 in their last game against Man City. Massive defeat for Liverpool right there, okay. They sit in a massive 8th place in the table, and they are 8 points behind leaders Arsenal. Is it too late for Liverpool to catch up to Arsenal? No. But can they keep that form? Can they keep the form going, guys, to the season? No, they can't, because they keep losing games. And losing 3-0 to Man City just proves that they is a massive, you know, there's a bit of problem in the midfield line and defence line. So yeah, obviously Mo Salah is not scoring as many goals as he used to. Isaac is nowhere to be seen. So you know what, Liverpool guys are in trouble this season, not relegation wise, but getting the top 10. You know, if they keep losing games like this, it could bounce back to hurt them big time. Arne Slot is a good manager, obviously won the league in his first season with Liverpool, but can he keep the mentality, can he keep the players on board for this season? Because this season right now is going to be a tough season for them. Liverpool against Forest, who in their last 2 games have won 1 and drew 1. So Forest again with Sean Dyche is hitting a bit of form. You know what, guys, I love Sean Dyche, fantastic manager. Yeah, I say it all the time, guys. Sean Dyche will not win you trophies, but he'll get you that stability, and that is what Forest are looking like right now. So in the last 2 games, won 1, drew 1. It's a right step in the right direction, but can they get this result against Liverpool? I don't think they will, because I've got Liverpool, guys, to bounce back this week and sort of close the gap. I've got Liverpool to beat Forest only 2-1. Next up, we've got Wolves versus Palace, guys. So Wolves have just sacked their manager Piera, and they have now signed Rob Edwards, who is a former Wolves defender. So yeah, in my opinion, is it the right decision? I don't think it is, guys, because obviously Rob Edwards has not really proved it. He's done well for Middlesbrough this season, getting top 4 in the Championship. The right man for the job, it's hard to say yet, but obviously because he knows Wolves in and out, obviously they're sort of playing for them back in the day, he has that sort of knowledge about the squad. And you know what, Wolves needed to change, and they've got to change now. So can they now push on, because they only sit on 2 points, okay. They lost 3-0 to Chelsea before the international break, so Wolves are in trouble this season, but they need to pick up points super soon, okay. And with Rob Edwards in charge, will that change? Not quickly, but it might change eventually. Up against Crystal Palace, this is not a good game for Rob Edwards to have on his first game as management for Wolves, because Palace, guys, are looking good this year. They sit in 10th place. They've won 1, drew 1 in the last 2 games. Palace are looking good side this year. I can't believe how good they are looking. Yamela Pino, he looks a good player. Mateta scoring goals for club and country. I do think Palace, guys, will beat Wolves. I've got Palace to beat Wolves 3-1. Next up, we've got Newcastle versus Man City, guys. So Newcastle have lost 2 games on the bounce. They lost 3-1 to Brentford before the international break, and I've got to say, compared to 2 seasons ago, Newcastle are not looking the same team as they were. Yes, they've lost some good players, their main striker Isaac and stuff like that, but for me, they've just lost that little bit of mojo. They are much easier now to beat than they were 2 years ago, because 2 years ago, guys, they were so solid in defence, like working for each other, keeping the goals out. But this season, they are finding that hard. But yeah, like I say, a massive change was needed. Obviously, they signed some players, Alanga, they signed Waldemar, but for me, just not clicked as of yet. And you know, we'll see what happens with Newcastle. But Eddie Howe will not be sacked, guys. He's too good to be sacked. You know, he has a lot of respect from the Newcastle owners for now. They're up against Man City, who beat Liverpool 3-0. Fantastic result. They now sit 2nd place, only 4 points behind leaders Arsenal. And I've got to say, Haaland is now in the World Cup for next year. He has been bossing it for his country, Norway, and obviously is also bossing it now for Man City. So guys, if Man City can keep Haaland scoring goals like he is doing right now, Man City could win the league yet again. Obviously, at the start of the season, they were looking very iffy, but they have now got playing, you know, they are now doing what they do and getting Haaland them goals. And I've got to say, to keep doing that, they'll be fine this season, trust me. Man City to beat Newcastle 2-0. Next, we've got Leeds versus Aston Villa, guys. So that is right. So Leeds sit in 16th place. They lost 3-1 to Forest for the international break. But Leeds are looking a better side than what they have done in recent times in the Premier League, okay. They're getting Calvert-Lewin them chances to score goals. Obviously, I told you guys, when Leeds sign Calvert-Lewin, the best thing they can do is get the ball into the box for him to head the ball, because in my opinion, Calvert-Lewin has one of the best jumps I have seen from a striker in the Premier League for many years. Because guys, he wins the headers all the time, and if the Leeds can get that working, then Leeds will have a goal scorer in their ranks. Because you know, they do sit in 16th place. You know, not a bad season, but they need to pick up points soon, because they keep losing games now and they're dropping down the league slowly. They're up against Aston Villa, guys, who, considering had a poor start to the season, not scoring for 3 consecutive games, they now sit in a massive 6th place. That is right. So Amorim has turned it around. I told you guys that he would turn it around, because he's a top manager. He is now, they now sit in 6th place, considering didn't score a goal for 3 consecutive games at the start of the season. They're now scoring goal from the beat Bournemouth, who are the most informed side at the moment in the Premier League. Well, was beaten 4-0. Massive result. So just on that, guys, I got Villa to beat Leeds 2-0. This could be game of the weekend, guys. It is Arsenal versus Spurs as well. So Arsenal drew 2-2 with Sunderland before the international break. They sit a massive 4 points at the top of the table. So Arsenal have a bit of breathing space at the top of the league. Obviously, Arsenal now will be without Odegaard, their captain, and apparently also Gabriel, who got injured during the international break. So they lose their best midfielder, best defender for a few weeks or months. Then, you know, the league will change drastically, because Gabriel is a fantastic defender, Odegaard is a fantastic midfielder. So 2 good players right there. But they're against Spurs, who are very inconsistent. They drew 2-2 with Man United before the international break. But Thomas Frank, he plays a certain way, and I don't think the players like the way he is playing. Yes, they do sit in 5th place, but again, 5th place, guys, it's the same as what Spurs always do. They always end up in 5th place and then start dropping the points. Too passive at the back. So when they are losing, for example, against Chelsea, the last couple of minutes, they just kept booting the ball back to the goalkeeper to kick the ball up, and then they'll lose it again, pass the ball back. It's a very inconsistent with the passing. So Spurs need to just get the ball up to the top and go from there. But yeah, just on that, guys, I've got Arsenal to beat Spurs 3-0. We are down to the final game of this game week, guys. It is Man United versus Everton. Okay, so Man United right now, can't believe I'm saying this, are 5 games unbeaten. That is right, they have won 3, drew 2. Amorim, has he turned it around already? I've been saying to you, Amorim is not the right man for the job, but is he turning it around? Is he doing it? Guys, 5 games unbeaten for Man United is a record for them right now. That's a record for them. Yeah. They sit in 7th place, guys, and for Man United standards at the moment, that's pretty solid for them. So, yeah, what is happening? Has Amorim finally gotten playing to the way he wants to play? We're not too sure, but whatever he's doing, guys, it is working. So all he has to do right now is keep at it. Against Everton, we beat Fulham 2-0. They sit in 13th place. Again, nothing special about Everton, but they are picking up points. You know, and they sit in 13th place. We've got a new stadium now, a nice stadium. And, you know, I think Everton, guys, in a few years to come, they will be even bigger, because they are obviously getting a new stadium now. They're getting new players in. I think it's quite exciting time to be an Everton fan. If you're an Everton fan, exciting times ahead for you. But right now, I've got this game, guys, to end. Actually, I've got this game to end as a very exciting draw. That's why I've got this game, guys, to end as a 2-2 draw. There we go, guys. That's my Premier League Game Week 12 predictions, guys. So if you did enjoy today's video, man, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. If you agree with any of my decisions, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon. So thank you for watching. Game Week 12 is here. 2 weeks off. We are now back. So enjoy the Premier League, guys. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you guys soon. Good, and good night.